Hi everyone, welcome to Zynerd's NEET UG Info Guide series. Today we will be looking at Armed Forces Medical College Pune, one of the best medical colleges in India. When we say the best, one of the top 3 or 4 medical colleges in every ranking, every survey that you would see, along with the AIIMS, JIPMER and CMC Vellore, it is one among the top medical colleges in India. So here we will be looking at the entire process of Armed Forces Medical College Pune. We will start with a brief on Armed Forces Medical College Pune and the number of seats that are available, and then we will look at the eligibility criteria, how you need to apply. They have follow a process of registration in MCC followed by a screening process at Pune. You will have to go to Pune. So that we will go through, and we will also go through at what closing ranks and fee structure of a Armed Forces Medical College Pune. Today is towards the end of the session. This will be a long session, possibly around 45 minutes to 1 hour, and that is the level of detailing that we have done. You want to know every bit about Armed Forces Medical College Pune, including the screening process, this one session is enough. But let us say you want to know only the closing ranks, only the fee structure, only the application process. Shorter videos will be available split from this particular session. You can go through those shorter videos for limited information that you might want. AFMC Pune, possibly the top one of the top 4 medical colleges across India, run by the Armed Forces. Armed Forces Medical Services runs this medical college for creating professionals, medical professionals for the armed services. That is their primary objective of running this medical college. This is based out of Pune. You see a glimpse of the college. You just search for it in Google. You will see an excellent campus, AFMC, and you will have 2 websites that you need to follow if you are going to participate in the Armed Forces Medical College process. Usually you will see that most of the government colleges will fall under All India Counselling or the State Counselling, but AFMC being a special status college like coming under Armed Forces, they have a registration process in MCC. So basically MCC is our website where we go in for the All India Counselling. There you go into UG Medical, you will see the registration here. When the registration starts for 2025, they will put up the registration here. That will be for the All India Counselling, All India quota seats, deemed university seats, and also for AFMC Pune. Irrespective of the fact that AFMC Pune process is separate, physical process at the location at Pune itself, you will have to register here in MCC, go to the new registration, register and select Armed Forces Medical College Pune. You are interested in Armed Forces Medical Services, and only if you select, you will be able to go participate in the direct screening process at Pune. So first thing that you need to do, look at mcc.nic.in. Then the second website is AFMC d.government.in. This is the Armed Forces Medical College Pune website, admissions website, where you will have all the notices available, and you will be able to know what are the notifications for the screening process of AFMC. So first thing, MCC registration, then you go and look at all the information over here. We already have the 2025's information brochure over here. You can also open that and check. We have all the information is also condensed into this session, so you can go through that session as well. These are the websites. AFMC Pune's website is here. If you want to know about the institute, you can also look at AFMC Pune's website. All these will be available in the description as well. The seats, we will look at the seats in Armed Forces Medical College Pune. There are total of 150 seats in AFMC Pune. For boys 115 seats are available, and for girls 30 seats are available. This is possibly the only college where there is a distinction in numbers. There might be reservation in some colleges and some might be women only colleges. Here it is clear, 115 boys and 30 girls, and there is no limitation with respect to domicile, reservation, etc. over here. All candidates across India are eligible. Anybody from any state across India, being a citizen of India, they are eligible. We'll come to that eligibility. For SC/ST candidates, within this 145 seats, a maximum of up to 10 seats are reserved. This is a specific reservation. If you are a candidate who belongs to SC/ST, then you can apply, and there might be a benefit if there are less than 10 candidates who come in within top 145. This is the total number. Within that, up to is the reservation. Then government sponsored foreign candidates are there. 5 candidates, 5 seats are available for other country, friendly foreign countries candidates. So this is by sponsorship by the Ministry of Defence, and the Ministry of Defence will sponsor this based on recommendations from other friendly foreign countries. Last year, 5 candidates suggested by the Nepal Army came in for MBBS over here in India. This is a special provision. So total 150 seats are split this way, 145 purely for Indian citizens and with a split of 115 boys for plus 30 girls. Now the eligibility we will look at. The eligibility for AFMC, the candidate should be a citizen of India. This does not apply for the sponsored candidates. Who are these? The 5 Nepal candidates last year. It might be from any country this year. They must be unmarried and they must continue to be unmarried during the entire course period. How many years is the course? 4.5 years plus 1 year CRRI, the residential internship. So during the entire period, they cannot be married. They cannot get married. Should be medically fit. There are very clear medical standards for the army, and that is followed for those candidates who are joining the Armed Forces Medical College as well. Why? Because post completion, there is a bond period. You will have to serve the army for a certain timeline. That too, along with the penalty, we will look at a later stage. So that is why you should be medically fit. You cannot be married till the time of completion of the course, and you have to be a citizen of India. Age criteria, you should have attained 17 years at the time of admission, basically on 31st/12/2025. So basically this is a criteria that NMC prescribes, correct? Anybody who is less than 17 years by 31st December 2025, they are not eligible for any medical course. But Armed Forces has an additional criteria. They should not have been born earlier than 1/1/2022. So 2002, basically 24 years is a criteria that they follow by December 2000. 24 years is the criteria that they follow, basically by December 31, 2025. Why is it? By the time of completion, somebody who is 24 years would have been 29.5 years. Army does not take in candidates who are greater than 30 years. If you are greater than 30 years, you cannot be commissioned into the army. So by the time you end the course, you should be less than 29 years. So currently the date is you should have been born not earlier than 1/2/2022. So basic criteria is if you are born between these dates, you are eligible. Marriage during the course is not permitted, like we mentioned. Academic qualifications, we already know the academic qualifications for MBBS. Slight difference in Armed Forces Medical College. 60% aggregate is required in physics, chemistry and biology and biotechnology. So 60% aggregate is required, 50% for MBBS, other MBBS courses, 60% for AFMC. At least 50% marks in English is required and each science subject is required. At least 50%. Let us say you are taking biology or botany, zoology, 50% is required in each science subject. 10th standard, you should have passed mathematics. This is also a requirement for Armed Forces Medical College. Now, AFMC eligibility requirements. How does based on eligibility, you will go attend a screening. At the time of screening, what all will happen? In brief, we are representing here. Appear for test of English as a foreign language and reasoning. Test of English language and reasoning. This is the test which is equivalent to your general aptitude and English test that you have. You should attend the interview round. After this, there is an interview round. Take the psychological assessment test. This is a test which you are required to be passed. You are required to pass and undergo the medical examination. You have to pass this. So these 4 happen where? At AFMC Pune. Registration is at MCC. After that, no choice filling, nothing at MCC. Directly go and attend AFMC Pune if you are in the first 2000 or the list that they call. So the written examination score, how is the score calculated? See, among these you have the test of English as a English language and interview. These two have marks. This has 80 marks and this has 50 marks. So totally you will be evaluated on 80 marks plus 50 marks. This you need to clear and this you need to clear. No marks are taken into consideration for preparing the merit list, but you need to pass these. So 80 marks, right? 720 marks you would have scored in NEET. Out of 720 marks, let us say you have scored 500. And out of these 80 marks in interview, let us say you have scored 60 marks, let us say. Total is how much? 8 out of 800 marks, you would have scored 560. So this is the total from test, your NEET exam and test on English language and reasoning. So out of 800 marks, you have scored 560. This will be equated, divided by 4 and you would get 140 marks out of this. So clear? 800 marks by 4 is equal to out of 200, you get 560 by 4 is equal to 140. You have scored 140 out of 200 marks. If you had scored 500 plus 80, 500 plus 60 total out of 800. Clear? So this is how the marking system works. They will add the test on English language as a language and reasoning plus the 720 marks, total 800 marks and divided by 4. After this 140, another 50 would be added based on the interview round. Interview round total will be out of 50. Let us say you score 40 out of 50, you will get 180 out of total 250 possible marks. So this is how the ranking happens. This score is what is finally taken for the ranking. So basically everything that 720 plus 80, whatever total numbers, whatever you get out of NEET plus test on English as a language and reasoning divided by 4 plus interview score out of 50. Let us say you get 40, that will be added and that will be the total marks. The merit list will be prepared by totaling up all the marks. The accepted qualifying examination for AFMC, basic, higher secondary 10 plus 2 are equivalent. Most of you will be higher secondary 10 plus 2 are equivalent. They are eligible. Then the rest of the eligibility depends. You can just go through it. We are not going to go through it in detail. It is very, it is similar to what NMC also provides. Mathematics you should have completed in 10th. You should have appeared in mathematics in 10th. This is an additional provision that they are very clear about. The candidates who did not take mathematics in 10th but later passed it as an additional subject are also eligible. If in case you have got an engineering degree, BSc degree, there you have taken up mathematics, that is also fine. Aggregate in science subjects 60% and not 50%, and English also you will have to apply, you will have to get an aggregate. The application process, like we said, first apply in MCC only for registration. You will have to complete your registration, pay the amount, submit and select AFMC there. Yeah, I am interested in Armed Forces Medical Services. AFMC will shortlist. Let us say there are 20,000 people who applied here. Out of this, AFMC will call for around 2,000 candidates. Depending upon boys-girls ratio, they might differ. That might differ. They will call for based on the first 2,000 candidates or so. This year they have mentioned total 2,000 candidates will be called for. NEET roll number who are of those who have shortlisted will be listed down. You will have to keep checking AFMC website. And within this first 1,600 boys and 400 girls who have applied for AFMC, if you are there, you will be called for the screening. That you can check in the website. When will this come in? After the MCC counselling starts, they complete registration, you will have to keep checking daily when it will come. Usually after round 1 of All India, but don't wait, keep checking after during the round 1 itself. Request for change of date of interview will not be accepted. Please don't try to change your dates with AFMC. They are very particular. They are very strict with respect to the time when you appear, the way you appear. Everything matters in AFMC. So unless it is an exceptional circumstance, don't ask for a change in date. But if it is an exceptional circumstance, they might allow if it is a genuine reason. AFMC screening process, we will go through the screening process. This might be really helpful. The shortlisted candidates will be called for call to AFMC for screening. How many did we say? 1,600 boys plus 400 girls. Usually they call for these candidates, and this will happen over a period of maybe around 6 or 7 days. It might take 6 or 7 days. Every day maybe around 300 candidates or so in 2 batches. So it might take around 6 or 7 days. Each candidate first will go through a 2-day screening. First thing is there will be a 2-day screening. So let us say your batch, there might be, how many batches did we say? Around 7 or 8 batches is what we say, 10-15 batches, 7 days we said. So let us say there are 14 batches. Each day there will be 2 batches, one starting at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock and another starting 1 hour later. 150 to 160 people in a batch. Here 150 to 160. They will spend 2 days. Let us say for me, the entire screening starts on 12th of, let us say, August. Then 13th of August again, I will have to be there. 12th it will start, 13th again I have to be there. 2 day minimum there will be screening. So be ready for that. What will happen? They follow the first process. First process is text on English as a test on English language and reasoning. Computer based test. 40 multiple choice questions will be there and duration is 30 minutes. Each right answer gets 2 marks. This is purely English and reasoning. You can go through some of the questions available online if you want to prepare. Incorrect answer is minus 0.5 marks. Note that this is English, language and reasoning, not a technical test or what you studied for NEET. It is different. Negative marking of 0.5, maximum marks is 80. TOELR will be added to the NEET score. Like we said, 720, if you have taken 600, plus 80 is from this test. Let us say you have taken 40 over here, your total marks will 640 out of 800. That will be equated to 200. Out of 200 it is 160 marks. So this will be taken first. Now interview is a total of, here you have got 160 marks out of 200 because you scored 600 in NEET and 40 out of 80 in the test in TOELR. And again you have another 50 marks. Focus areas of the interview. This is from the interview. They will conduct an interview. General awareness, knowledge, your general knowledge and interest. When we say general awareness, the latest news and other items. Your general knowledge, interests and hobbies, personality traits also they will check. How confident are you? What is your attitude? And whether you have a negative attitude, whether you are confident enough, etc. All these will be checked. Conducted by a panel of judges. It is better to go through an interview with somebody who is an HR or with somebody who knows how the process is, etc. before you go ahead. Weightage will be given for participation in NCC sports events. Wards or officers from army, JCOs or serving officers or ex-servicemen, they will also have an additional advantage as far as the interview is concerned. This is as per the prospectus itself. Now here, this entire thing will be for 50 marks. So if I have already scored 160 out of 200 here, then plus another 50 marks out of 250, my total score will be taken. If in interview I scored 240, then I will have 200 out of 250. This out of 250 will determine my ranking in AFMS. So note that I might be ranked 40,000 across all India, and somebody might be ranked 39,000 above me in all India, but I may go higher because I have better interview marks and better test on English language reasoning marks. So don't go by your rank and think that there are a lot of people above you. You might need to apply if you are interested. What will happen next is the medical examination process. There is a clear medical criteria. We will be sharing that link with you in the description. We will also have it as part of the portal as well. If you go to Zynerd and select AFMS, you will have all the information. All candidates should go through a medical examination. Only those who are declared medical fit will be included, and others who are declared medically unfit will not be included. This is a very important criteria because they are looking at creating medical professionals for the army. Psychological assessment test. It is a basic assessment test which you go through any psychological assessment test. It will have questions to scenario based questions usually to identify what you would do in a particular situation, what your thought process is, etc. This is a qualifying examination. It is a computer based test, and psychological assessment test course will not be considered, but you have to pass this test. That is enough. Final result will be a merit list. What will happen after putting in all the marks of all candidates for 250? They will select candidates one by one in order of ranking, and then they will put up a merit list. The merit list will have how many? 115 boys plus 30 girls, and then there will be a reserve list too, or a wait list. In case somebody does not join within the given period, the others can join. They will give you 3 or 4 days for joining. After the merit list is put, possibly they will give you 3 days to start the joining and another 3 days to join. So let us say last time 6th September they put up the merit list, 115 boys plus 30 girls. 9th September to 11th or 12th September they asked you to join. If you don't join, you lose AFMC. So be very clear about looking at the merit list. Where will be the merit list be published? Over here in the portal, or in Zynerd if you follow, you will publish every list. Screening process. About the medical examination, very important information. No fitness certificate will be issued. They will not issue a fitness certificate. They are just looking at whether you are medically fit or not. If you are unfit, okay, first day, second day, fitness examination happens. At the end of second day, they say you are unfit after all the examinations. Then you have 24 hours to appeal. You can appeal and then they will take another examination. It is very rare that in the second examination you might clear, but you have a possibility of appealing when they say that this is the reason why you are medically unfit, and these tests you will have to undergo again and then see whether that fitness, the earlier criteria, basis the right criteria, you are eligible again. That is possible. There is no temporary unfit status. You can't say that I am overweight now, I will go back and come back after 1 month and then join AFMC. That is all not possible. You have to be fit on that date. If there is a relaxation in the criteria itself, they will tell you that. Within that, if you are there, you will be considered fit. But temporarily, I am unfit, but 2 days later, I will go exercise and come back. All this is not possible. The entire medical process is typically completed in 2 to 3 days. 2 days usually, but 3 days if you are appealing. Parents are allowed to accompany the candidates, and fasting is required each morning. Both the days, they will take fasting examination. We will go through that. And a confirmation email is sent. Please look at the final list both in the prospectus and the confirmation email. Candidates can appeal. Basically, if the medical fitness is, you are declared as medically unfit, you can appeal that. Now, the screening process, medical screening process, this is in detail. If you don't want to know this, but you want to know this later only, it is fine. But if you are preparing for AFMC, it is good to know this, because some of them like BMI, etc., you might have to maintain. You might have only another 2 weeks for you to get to know all the criteria and see whether you are eligible. Let us say you lose by a margin, it will be an issue. So if you want to know what all they test, you can have a look at it. What happens at the medical examination? This is basis candidates representation. Basically, many candidates mentioning it over directly or over different conversations, etc. So here we have taken up everything. This might change every year. There might be minor changes. The standards might not change, but the process might change every year. The medical standards are already available. So keep a look at what are the changes. But here we are trying to help you out with last year's or previous year's information. Day 1, you will go in the morning. You will go fasting. So 12 hours of fasting is mandated. So prior to the reporting time, you should not have taken anything before 12 hours. And candidates are divided into 2 batches for a day. One batch starts usually at 7 a.m. and another batch at 8 a.m. This is the usual reporting time. They will clearly mention that in your notification when they call for. Blood test, urine test and X-ray is taken on day 1. Day 1 also includes document verification. You will have to take your documents on day 1. Usually the original certificates. What are the original certificates? All the original certificates, your 10th, 12th mark sheet, your admit card, score card, etc. All that you need to take, your birth certificate or Aadhaar, etc. All that you need to take based on the documents. We'll tell you the documents. This, in case you don't have originals with you because you have been admitted in some other seat, All India Round 1. There you have given your originals. At that point, it might be okay to take copies, but admission, you have to take your originals. This is the test screening process. You have not been selected. So for the selection, it is okay if you take copies, but admission time, you need your originals. Urine or blood sample is collected. Like we said, test on English as a language and reasoning happens on day 1. And interview round also happens on day 1. So this is the day 1 usual timeline. And second day, you have 8 hours of fasting required. Again, reporting in 2 batches, 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. All texts conducted in a single continuous batch. One batch goes in for all the batchmates, one by one they will conduct the test. Medical investigations include ultrasound, dental examination. For women, female candidates, you have gynecology test, ENT examination and eye examination, the basic tests which are there, and the power range is also acceptable. Power range is mentioned. And for pediatrics, in the pediatrics department, you will undergo a height and weight check, blood pressure and breathing test, and musculoskeletal and physical assessment, limb flexibility and activity, etc., jumping and all. They will actually ask you to do all these, and medical board review is conducted. Once these tests are done, the reports are shared with the medical board, and this will consist of 3 officers, and they will recommend or you as fit or unfit for AFMS. So basically, all these reports from various tests will go into the medical board, and the medical board officers will declare every person as fit or unfit at the end of day 2. Post examination, fit candidates can go home. Why? You have already completed the tests. So the fit candidates will go home. Here itself you will have also the PAT, we have missed that. So you would have completed this test. So your 80 marks, 50 marks is also done, and all your medical screening is also done. So all you need to do is, if you are fit, you can go home. They will let you know when you are selected at a later point in time. So last time it took 4 days for them to provide the list. After all these let us say you start on first day itself, 7 days this will happen for multiple candidates. After that, they will take 3 or 4 days to finalize based on the total marks. That time you can look at the results. If you are unfit, then you have 1 day. Again, on day 3, you can go through the tests where you are unfit. They'll tell you these tests. Let us say you did not clear this test, but I think that I can clear, but I made a mistake at that point in time. Can I re-attend the test? Each test you can re-attend by paying 40 rupees per test. They will ask you to reappear in the test and then re-evaluate. And if you have cleared, will declare you fit on the next day. That is possible on day 3. And during screening, this is during screening. What are the documents required? For those 2 days, what do you need to take to AFMC? Admit card, result card. These are all printouts, so no problem. Mark sheet, 10th pass certificate. If 10th mark sheet and pass certificate are the same, that is fine. +2 mark sheet, +2 pass certificate, transfer certificate or school leaving certificate. So this TC you need to have. Migration certificate is required if available. So in case you don't have the migration certificate, they will be flexible, but they've asked if available, you can bring in these. Proof of date of birth, this can be your 10th, 12th, or even your date of birth certificate, Aadhaar copy. This is required for registration with Maharashtra University of Health Sciences. AFMC comes under MUHS. Nationality certificate or passport. This is slightly difficult for some candidates to get. You can just try to get a certificate from your revenue officer. Gap certificate is required. You can make it in AFMC if it is required. They also have a provision, but you can also do a gap certificate. If you want the format, you can let us know. This is for those candidates who after 12th are not immediately joining AFMC. They went through 2 years of NEET, or they have a gap after 12th. 1 year they did not do anything. Then next year they are completing NEET. Immediate joiners after 12th. 12th I complete, I write my NEET, I am going to AFMC. This is not required. But if you have a gap, then it is required. Passing 12th as a regular candidate. AFMC has a specific criteria saying open candidates are not allowed. So open schooling candidates are not allowed. So passing as a regular candidate, this will be there in your board itself. If the board says CBSE, that is sufficient. Character certificate from the institute. Caste certificate if available and if applicable. If you don't, but there is no reservation note. In case you belong to SC category and through SC reservation you are in, then you need this, and caste validity certificate. Only then you would need this. Affidavit in case certificates are duplicate. You have lost your certificates, but certificates are in duplicate. AAU equivalent certificate. AAU equivalent certificate is in case you have done your schooling abroad. You are an Indian citizen but did your schooling abroad. Then to tell that that school, high school or whatever board and the examinations are equivalent to Indian schooling, that you need AAU certificate. Domicile certificate if available, don't need to worry if it is not available. NCC sports certificate, if you are taking them, you might get additional marks in the university, in the interview. So please take all these good certificates, whatever you have achieved to the interview. These are not mandatory, if available only or applicable only. Serving certificate or ex-serviceman certificate, primarily for getting additional marks during the interview. Document surrender certificate. What is a document surrender certificate? There are a lot of queries on this. In case, what will happen is All India round 1 will be over by the time AFMC screening process starts. All India round 1 will be over. You have already joined, let us say. You will have provided all your certificates where? At the AA round 1 institute. They will have all your originals. In that case, you can still attend AFMC without resigning there. You will come to AFMC and have a document surrender certificate from this institute. They will give you, all these originals are with us. Therefore, the candidate cannot present these certificates. Some of the certificates which are not in the list, you can still take, whatever you have not submitted. But rest of them, if you have submitted the originals, you can take these certificates. Once you get through AFMC, you can go resign this institute and join AFMC with originals only. Joining, admission, only with originals, but for screening, for the tests, you don't need to take originals. This certificate is sufficient. Certificate of extracurricular activity and level of representation, all these need to be taken. So these are the complete list of documents that are required for AFMC. During admission also, you need to carry the list of documents. There is a better 2-page format which is available that you can take as well, separately mentioning what is required for the institute and what is required for Maharashtra University of Health Sciences. Next, we will go to AFMC medical standard. See, what we looked at is the process. What will happen, which departments you will go in, etc. We will look at the medical standards of AFMC. Still, we are not experts in this. The medical standards, we have read through the medical standards and we are taking it to you. So, we will look at the physical standards. First, height related criteria. For male candidates, 157 centimeter is the criteria, and female candidates 152 centimeter. Minimum, this height should be there. That is the criteria. Growth allowance for less than 18 years. Let us say you are greater than 18 years. Then this is the criteria. Very clear. If you are less than 18 years, when you are going, you are 17 years only. Obviously, many of them who completed their 12th and immediately going for NEET will be 17 years or 17 and a half years. For you, 2 centimeter lesser is fine. 155 centimeter or 150 centimeter for girls, that is acceptable. If you are less than 17, I am 24 years old, this is the criteria. For those candidates who belong to hilly regions or northeast, the criteria is slightly lesser by 5 centimeters. So 152 centimeter, 147 centimeter for candidates belonging to hilly area, hills or northeast region. Next, weight standards. Minimum weight as per official height weight chart. They will have a BMI chart. Based on your height or weight, there is a minimum weight criteria. Overweight criteria is also there, that BMI should be less than 27, very clearly. The body mass index, that chart is also available. You can have a look at that chart. Waist hip ratio should be less than 0.9 for male and less than 0.8 for female. If you want if you have any confusion, you can also call us. We'll try to get experts to help you out as well. Waist circumference, male or female, less than 94 or less than 89 centimeters. Straightforward things only, but still if you have confusion, you can call us. This is a long list of criteria. We might not be experts here, but we have put down every criteria so that it is clear for you and there is no confusion. Beyond this too, it is a big document, 79 pages document too. There is a bigger document too. If you want to go through everything, you can go through. Alternate option is pretty simple. You are a little confused, apply for AFMC, go to AFMC and then check. I don't know whether I will be able to do this because I have this particular deformity. I don't know whether it will be a deformity issue, etc. First thing, try to figure out from this. Yes, go to AFMC. Let us say they say it is an issue. Yeah, you would have gone to AFMC, some effort. Yeah, it is difficult. You could have understood it earlier itself. But let us say they say that it is not an issue. You are not clear when you are going. Always better because you get AFMC because you went ahead and put in that effort. The medical fitness standards, no skeletal deformities, etc. No speech impediment, no heart or blood vessels disease, no pulmonary TB or lung diseases. That is why they take the X-ray. No digestive system disease, normal liver and spleen, abdominal USG ultrasound is taken. No hernia and all these different defects that are mentioned, genital organ defect, etc. They do check everything. Hernia operated candidates are fit if 12 plus weeks post-op. You have taken a hernia operation, but post-op it is 12 weeks. Good abdominal tone and no recurrence or complications are expected. Female candidates will undergo a gynecological and USG ultrasound examination. No piles or fistula, no kidney disease, etc. No skin disease, no sexually transmitted diseases, HIV or related infections, no epilepsy, psychiatric or mental disorder, no squint or eyelid or eye disorders, no trachoma or complications, no abnormal lymph node enlargements. So all these are different criteria. If you have these, you might know of these. If you don't have this, don't need to worry, you can still go there directly. Visual standards, you can just look at the visual standards. Short sight and long sight criteria is also given, minus 3.5 to plus 3.5, and astigmatism is also given, and color vision is also clearly mentioned. LASIK, it is not allowed if done before 20 years of age. Earlier procedures will be permanently unfit very clearly. The earlier procedures before this LASIK, those will also be unfit. At the time of surgery, made fit. So at the time of surgery, above 20 years. In case you have done LASIK or equivalent, at the time of surgery, you should have been more than 20 years. Minimum 12 months pass, and all these criteria is applicable. You can go through that and you can also consult with your ophthalmologist if these criteria are applicable in case you have gone through LASIK. Similarly, for the keratorefractive procedure too, they have given the date of surgery and the type of procedure has to be intimated for them to evaluate. Hearing standards, conversation voice test is something that happens. This is not a marking test. You will have to pass this test. If needed, speech tests and audiometric records will also be used. We mentioned that these tests, hearing tests will also happen. Candidates must hear a forced whisper with each ear and standing with back of the examiner at a distance and then in a reasonably quiet room. All these are very, very standard and for the AFMC medical fitness test and a detailed hearing assessment will be done if abnormality is suspected. The distance and everything is very clearly mentioned, and 50% of words is also the criteria. Important points while you are going for the test: if original documents are already submitted, please get a statement from the principal in the letterhead with sign and seal saying the following original documents have been deposited with our institute. For screening, this is fine for those 2 days, and then you will come back and wait for the admission or merit list. Correct? Final merit list. Whoever is selected, they will put up as a merit list. When they put up the merit list, you have to go to your institution, take originals from the institution and go back for admission here. And print out of the registration page of MCC is required. That is why we say you have to register in MCC, 16 passport size and 16 colored photograph with white background. For admission, what we mentioned earlier, documents required for joining was what we mentioned earlier. At the time of screening was what we mentioned earlier. This is during admission. After screening, after you are selected, only those 145 candidates will take this. For MUHS, these are the list of candidates, the certificates required. You can go through the certificates. For AFMC, you have these set of candidates certificates. Most of them are similar. Some additional certificates might be required for MUHS. If you do not belong to a state which gives you, these are all only if applicable. These might not be applicable for most of the cases. Whenever there is a caste certificate, etc., just check if you applied under SC/ST category and you have got it, then only you need those caste certificates, otherwise it is not required. Medical fitness, etc., will be there. You can take it later too after getting AFMs. All these you will usually have. Only things that you need to work on is the transfer certificate and TC. Primarily, when you're going for the screening itself, you would have done that. So admissions, it should not be a problem. And all the passport size certificates, have it with you. And then all these certificates for AFMC Pune. This is a whole list. Usually no issues. The certificate list is very clear here. You want, you can take them. Following clothing is required for admission. After you join, what is the clothing that is required? These are clear piece of clothing that you will wear during your entire course, very professionally listed, and you can go through this. All these will be available at AFMC. Don't need to worry about getting all these. They will be available at AFMC itself. Each medical cadet will get allowances as well during the process. These are the allowances that one gets. Book and equipment grant, they will get 6,000 per year. Uniform allowance 6,000 per year. Cash grant, etc., per day they will get. This is what the government offers them. Hair cutting allowance, washing allowance, grant in aid, etc. And all these a cadet gets during the 4.5 years the candidate does their MBBS. These allowances are subject to change and they are directly credited to the cadet's account. Now, AFMC bond. Now, this is the most important part. The primary objective of creating a medical college to the tune of AFMC is to create medical officers who serve the Indian Army. So, there is a service bond after completing AFMC. This service bond does not restrict many people at all from joining AFMC. Those candidates who are interested, top rankers, join AFMC because it is one of the best medical colleges. You come out of AFMC, you will be an excellent medical cadet and you would be a captain at the time of passing out. You will serve with the army and that will make you an excellent medical professional, an excellent professional, excellent leader. So that is why people join, irrespective of the fact that there is a bond, which is actually the reason why AFMC today has a medical college. Medical officers, all candidates should serve as medical officers in armed forces after MBBS. Anybody who passes out, 145 candidates will have to serve AFMC. The bond amount is 69 lakhs. This is in 2025 as per 2025 prospectus. You should sign the bond under 500 rupees non-judicial paper. This is arranged by AFMC at the time of joining. No need to worry. Candidate plus one parent or guardian can sign if candidate is greater than 18 years old. But if the candidate is a minor, both parents or two guardians can sign. So basically you take both parents, there itself you can get the thing signed at the time of admission, not during screening. Tests and all fine. You are finally selected, you are among the 145, then you can worry about this. Withdrawal rule, see, you are getting admitted. Let us say last year admissions happened on 9th September. First 145 candidates were asked to join on 9th September. You do not join, fine. You miss out an opportunity, that is fine. But if you join on 9th September, provide all your original certificates, make the fee payment, you join. Then you have 7 days to resign. If you don't resign within the 7th day, then what happens? Bond payment will be applicable. You will be eligible, you will be required to pay 69 lakhs from that date. So that decision needs to be very, very strong. This 69 lakhs is for serving AFMS after completion, but is also applicable if you leave the course halfway through. That is a non-service liability, and there is also a non-service liability clause. If halfway through, what is expected? After 29.5 years or after you complete the 5.5 years, you will serve the Indian Army as a medical officer. In case you are not able to serve because of medical reasons, then there is a different criteria. But if you are declared for non-medical reasons, I don't want to serve, I have discipline issues, therefore the army is not taking me, then full bond plus training cost plus tuition fee needs to be paid. Full bond is what? 69 lakhs need to be paid. If for medical reasons, there is some issue that happens during your tenure, 4.5 years plus 1 year, during your MBBS, beyond the candidate's control, the candidate is ready to take up treatment, but still it is not unresolved. Then in that case, an amount can be paid per week, which is approximately, and then you can continue with the course, not be with AFMS after you complete, provided it is due to medical reasons beyond candidate's control. Who will evaluate this? AFMC will evaluate it. Post MBBS, what is the bond? We said 69 lakhs, everybody should serve. 7 years of commission is required. You can be part of short service commission or permanent commission. Permanent commission is you become a permanent employee, that will be based on merit, what you get and what you opt for. There can be a permanent commission or a short service commission. Short service commission is usually for 10 years we hear, you can check that. But 7 years you have to completely serve the Indian Army as a medical candidate, otherwise you will have to pay proportionate bond. Let us say you serve for 6 years only. Last 1 year you did not serve, then you might have to pay around 9.5 lakhs for 1 year. Let us say 7 years it is 69, 1 year whatever is the amount that you might need to pay. If you pay 69 lakhs, only then internship NOC will be given. For whom? If I am opting out, I am saying at the end of 5.5 years I don't want to serve the army. 4.5 years after MBBS I don't want to serve the army. I have to do my internship. At that time, if you pay 69 lakhs, then you will be permitted for internship in AFMC, otherwise you will not be permitted. And 50% after completing their internship, 50% will be under permanent commission and 50% is short service commission based on merit. You can pick and choose. I want to be in the permanent commission usually. Then if you want to pick and choose that, then that will be as per merit, only basis merit. Lieutenant, you become a lieutenant on commissioning, captain on completion of internship. Like we said when you complete your internship, you will be captain. You will join at 5.5 years as captain. 4.5 years you will start as lieutenant commission, the lieutenant at the internship period. After 4 years as captain, you will become major. You will have 7 years of service here. So after 4 years as captain, you will become major. And by the time, even if you serve only 7 years, you will come out as a major. But if you continue after 7 years as major, 4 years as captain, then another 7 years you will become a lieutenant colonel. So this is the growth path in AFMC, but usually many come out after the 7 years under short service commission. After mandatory 7 years they complete and they come out as a major. Now this is completely regarding the AFMC bond, service bond. We will also look at AFMC fee and closing ranks. 2024's data is here for reference. 2025's data will be there in the joining document, should not be major changes. University fee, this is for Maharashtra University, it is 3,510 or 3,500 rupees, and admission fee is 16,000, this is one time. This is one time only. Security deposit 17,500, you will get this back later. You will pay it during admissions, but you will get this back. Tuition fee is 7,260 rupees. This is a yearly basis fee that you have to pay, but you saw that many grants were available, right? The government gives so much grants, and hostel rent is at around 600 rupees, and that also you need to pay. This is per year. Note that for this there will be a per year basis grant too that is available. Now this is a very minimal fee. Armed Forces Medical College. Note that this fee may not need to be paid. Initially they will say 90,000, 80,000, including all the fee, etc. 80,000, 85,000, but only this tuition fee, hostel rent will come up after every year. Closing ranks. What ranks did get AFMS last year? Last year we saw that there are 115 boys and 30 girls who got through AFMS, correct? This is the list of candidates who got through AFMS. Boys till 22,000 rank, they got through. This is including a final wait list. What did they do? They initially said 115 boys and 30 girls. They put up a list. After that, some boys did not join. And some girls did not join. So second waiting list, they came up with 13 boys. Out of this, only 102 joined. So another 13 boys were called from the waiting list and 4 girls were called. Again from this 13 boys, there were around 4 boys who did not join, 6 boys who did not join. Then again 6 boys were called. And again 1 boy was called because 1 person did not join. Ultimately 115 boys and 30 girls joined. Even from the waiting list, around 20 boys and 4 girls, they were able to move up because some people did not join. That last rank is 22,000. Last year if you had got 22,000 and you were found medically fit and basis your marks, it is not only based on rank. There you go, you have additional marks for test on English language and reasoning and interview marks. That also matters. This candidate might have got good marks and gone up higher. So till 22,000 there was a possibility last year. Similarly, only till rank 9,900 girls had a possibility. Many girls choose and the number of seats are also less. That is the reason. And overall waiting list till 20 waiting list boys and girls, 4 waiting list girls, they had taken seats. Actual timelines of AFMC, this is the biggest question that we have come up with. What will be the timeline of AFMC? I am looking very keenly at AFMC, but I am also looking at All India Counselling. What can I do is the question. So here you see that 2024 timelines is what we have mentioned. Won't be the same for 2025. Counselling may start in July mid, therefore 1 month earlier than last year. So it might change a lot. Approximately 1 month earlier itself. So it might change a lot. Look at the timelines over here. All India round 1 results were on 21st August. All India round 1 will be over, which means you will fill choices for All India round 1. AFMC you will add as a quota. You won't fill choices here. But while registering for All India itself, you will add AFMC. Prior to that, 14th September onwards, 14th August onwards, last year they would have added. And wait. But you will get your All India round 1 results. Will I miss out thinking that I will get AFMC? No. You will fill choices for All India. Get your All India seat. AFMC started their screening from 27th to 1st September. They called them for 5 days. Then many candidates did not turn up. So they added on 22nd and 3rd September. They increased the number of candidates. They did that screening. Screening is that 2-day screening they did. So 3rd September, whoever joined came in. Till 4th September, screening went on. All India round 1 already I got a seat. That joining was extended till 31st September. So what happens, you be very clear. I got a seat. Let us say I got a seat in Bangalore Medical College. 24th August, I am also going for AFMC. I will go to AFMC during this period, 27th August or something. I will get my original certificates back. Or I can go join BMCs too. Because this is a safer option. 27th August itself, I will go join BFMC. All India round 1 itself. Then I will get a certificate from BMC saying all my documents are surrendered over there. Go to AFMC and attend these 2-day process. Now my admission in BMC is complete. I will go to AFMC and attend this process with the certificate saying my originals are deposited over there and then come back. AA round 1 joining ends on 31st August. I have already joined AA round 1. AFMC results come on 6th September. By this time, I have my BMC seat in hand. Bangalore Medical College, All India round 1 seat is also available. I have my AFMC results on 6th September. They have called for joining from 10th to 12th September. First list. What can I do? I go to BMC and resign. Will they allow resignation? Yes. Last year specifically, even though All India round 2 had started by that time, All India round 2 choice filling itself started. They provided specific resignation from 9th to 11th September. After this AFMC results, I got through AFMC, my certificates are at BMC, I have Bangalore Medical College, I have to go resign because AFMC is far better than Bangalore Medical College in my opinion. I will be given time by MCC to go to BMC, resign, get your original certificates and go for admission to AFMC. So that was possible last year. And second, this was possible for the first waiting list. So first waiting for the first list. Then for the second waiting list too, the results were declared on 12th September and MCC had their resignation extended from 13th to 16th September. May not directly be relevant, but for those 5-6 candidates alone, this might be relevant. Now again, there was a second and third waiting list by AFMC itself. You remember we said that first waiting list there were 17 new candidates who joined because among the original 145 they did not 17 candidates did not join. Another set of candidates were called for. In the second waiting list again 6 boys were called for, and in the third waiting list one candidate, this is one candidate was called for. These candidates came to know about their AFMC allotment only on 17th and 20th September. So unless they had their certificates with them, they could not have gone and joined because resignation was over. You can either take a call on BMC resignation and keep your certificates with you if you are on the waiting list, or take a call. So basically this is a little confusing. Basically the first waiting list, second waiting list, etc. But definitely when AFMC results are published, MCC, you are having a seat, MCC will provide a provision to resign that seat, or candidates will represent and that would happen. So basically that is the process. Note that after this last date, 23rd September was the last candidate joining. After this last date, nobody resigned, which means AFMC had this one physical examination round. Then they published the results, first waiting list, second waiting list, third waiting list within 10 days. By 23rd September itself, when All India round 2 was only over, AFMC complete process on 145 candidates were completely done. You can't resign after that because your bond of 69 lakhs will be applicable. You can't go back after this particular date, 7 days plus this date, whenever you joined. Let us say 1st of October, I am getting a good seat in All India Round 3. You cannot go back. Why? Because you will have to pay a penalty. So once in AFMC, that bond will be applicable and nobody would have resigned to, because AFMC is an excellent distributor. Finally, before we conclude, we want to add a few points based on previous year's reference and also general reference. Timings very strict. Before 2 p.m. for admission means before 2 p.m. for admission. You have to complete that or be there. Even before 2 p.m. you have to be present there. Please be present there. 2-1 is not 2 p.m. Certificates and fees should be ready. All these fees, you be ready with that. Certificates be ready. Admit card has to be taken, so keep that downloaded. Hostel and other details. This is a residential course. You cannot say that I will stay somewhere outside in Pune. You have to be inside the hostel, very strict. Separate hostels for boys and girls. Veg or non-veg mess. Supposedly one of the best mess facilities available in the country or even across Asia. Book allowance and stationery allowance, uniform allowance, washing allowance, etc. Are available. We mentioned through that. Movie screening, membership is compulsory. Membership is compulsory for movie screening. Vacation, summertime, you get 2 to 3 weeks vacation in May or June. Another winter vacation of 2 to 3 weeks. Very structured process that they follow, the timelines, etc. that they follow. So basically, this is a complete detailed understanding of AFMC. If you go to Zynerd 2, you will have complete information on videos which are there in AFMC. The institute info page. You go to Zynerd landing page, you don't need to register or subscribe. On the top, you will see the resources section or the information section where you can go ahead and click on AFMC and check all the details of AFMC as well. We'll just show you that if it is available over here, if everything works fine. Go to Zynerd.com, which is a landing page, and you have explore, and you go to medical colleges, and you can check if AFMC information is available. Here you will have complete information on AFMC. You want to know the location, nearest airport, hostel, all the details, some details on AFMC videos, etc. You can just go through all these videos. Thanks a lot for watching. Hope this was comprehensive. If you want split up videos, you can also look at specific information as well. Thanks. Please put in your comments. We'll be happy to answer them.